how do we know what we should do? Seeing what is, how do we hear what to do? Each of us has a unique karmic predicament. In order to hear that, you have to shut up with your mind. You have to quiet down enough to tune to the gestalt of what is, which includes your skills, your past, your opportunities, the situation, the imminence of this and that in terms of ecology and so on. And when you're empty enough, not by your rational mind, but by an intuitive sense of, for this moment, this is right. You don't have to make a decision for the rest of your life. I have no idea what I'll be doing. I don't even know who I am. I don't even care. All I know is at this moment, this feels right. And I've started to tune my life not to these kind of temporal models of career and plans and all, but from moment to moment, is this in harmony? If not, what? If somebody, I had the most ghastly experience, which I described in Compassion in Action. I was doing the book, How Can I Help? I was doing it at a farm in western Massachusetts, snowy farm. And I ran out of typing paper, and I was in the middle of an important section, and I drove to town, and I passed a guy on crutches that was thumbing. And I didn't pick him up because he would have taken so long to get into the car and get out of the car, and I needed to get the paper in order to get back to write the book, How Can I Help? So, it gets worse. That's the good part. That's the good part. So I'm house-sitting this farmhouse, and there's this fellow working in the basement doing some renovation because it leaks, and he's putting in some dry cement, dry walls. And he says to me, he's a nice young guy, and he says to me, I don't want to bother you, but sometime could I talk to you? And I said, well, because I have people from here to here. I said, I'd love to talk to you, but I'm trying to write this book now. And I just got here, and I really got to quiet down to write the book. So if you wouldn't mind, sort of hold it for a while. And 3 days later, he stuck a gun in his mouth and blew his brains out. Now, I was so busy writing How Can I Help? And all I hear that's the way of things. That is the way of things. I don't spend the rest of my life beating myself for that. I did what I could do at the time, what I thought was an appropriate action. But I have to keep listening. And when I fall on my face, I get up and say, I guess I'm not fully tuning just yet. Maybe there's a little deeper tuning I can do. So I'd say that when you say, what can I do? It's not a thing. It's a process of listening, responding, tuning, harmonizing, listening again. Some of my friends are in business, like Ben Cohen, Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream. Ben was telling me that he and Jerry were ice cream guys. They just scooped ice cream at a corner shop, and then suddenly they realized they were business people. They had employees and factories and all this. And they said, what are we doing in this? And he was talking to an older man who was in business, who was his friend, a strange man, a friend of his. And the guy said to Ben, if you don't like business, instead of leaving it, why don't you just change it? And so they did. They started to have a double bottom line so that the success of the company is not only in terms of how much money's left over at the end of the year, but also in terms of how much they help the environment and the community to live, to be freer of suffering. And they have a ratio of who can make how much relative to everybody else in the company. And there's a whole lot of things of supporting people all employees to do volunteer work by giving them time leaves to do that. There's a whole way of making a business a compassionate thing and still being highly successful. So, he did it through business. Somebody else does it through government. Somebody else does it through raising children. Somebody else does it through education. Somebody else does it through picking up cans. Somebody else does it through lying down on the railroad tracks. Somebody else does it by helping somebody that's fallen get up. There's no rules.